Let's do this.
For any of you that are with us, thank you for joining us. And hello, I'm Salena,
Let's see.
and we're the Billings and Aloha Concepts Marketing. And we are really glad you're here.
Yes. So we're going to kind of introduce a little bit about what we're going to do the next 3 days, just kind of lay the groundwork of what's going to happen. And the first day today, we're going to talk about why digital sovereignty matters and, kind of wake everyone up to like, hey, it's time now. No more hiding out in the corner because it's fast, changing fast. And, it's moving quite a pace now.
Right. And then tomorrow, we're going to talk about gentle basics, wallets, identity, digital ownership in plain language, and invite people to become aware of the digital shift before it impacts them. A lot of awareness going on around here.
Yeah, and closing ceremonies on day 3, Wednesday. We're gonna try and introduce you to getting engaged, like scratching the surface and actually getting some baby steps going and getting immersed into uh, you know, what's unfolding before us with changing the way we acquire goods and services. So, just up front, just want to share with you that blockchain is different than cryptocurrency. I always thought it was one and the same till I realized it's not. It'd be kind of like saying email is the same as the internet. It's a little bit different, and we'll break that down for you. And our goal is really to just kind of heighten your curiosity so that you won't keep pushing away on getting activated with this revolution that's taking place around the world, including here in our own country.
Yes, and so our intention is to learn and explore and grow together. So we are by no means the experts in this. We're just very much aware that the more people we talk to about blockchain, the more people go, huh? And so
Mm.
we were there like 4 or 5 years ago, and now, hey, there's Nina and there's Veronica. Hi, guys. Um, and so we're just wanting to share this because of the importance of what we're learning. Everything of value is moving to the blockchain. And that's not just one blockchain, there are many blockchains,
Ad
but
infinitum,
but
actually.
everything of value is moving there. And so it's important to know this and to not bury our heads in the sand any longer.
Well, and what's critical, I mean, quite frankly, there's a lot of things the blockchain's active with and doing. It's the rails, if you will. But all anyone really should care about is digital currency or crypto, because that is replacing fiat currency. It already has in many countries, and our country is now stepping up its game as well. So as we move forward, just remember blockchain does a lot of things, but all you have to really concern yourself with is how you're going to acquire goods and services and how you're going to engage in this new way of spending and receiving money.
I disagree, but but
Mm.
that's okay. We'll dive into that more. And the reason I disagree is because we just said that crypto is only a small piece of blockchain. So there's so many more aspects to
That's
learn
right.
about it. And so it's important for you to know what all of those are,
Well, and what's
including
fun too about that is the small aspect of it is something I can't live without.
he's
So
all
there's
about the money.
many parts of blockchain that are going to do all kinds of things for me and society and governments and institutions that are wonderful and amazing. Like it's the railways of the future. But the car I care about that's on the rail is money because I can't live without it. There's many things the blockchain will do for me that I can live without. Money's not one of them.
Okay. So if anything should come up during the workshop, we just want to encourage you to jot it down
For sure.
because at the end of the session and every session will be an opportunity for us to interact with each other and hear your thoughts and hear your questions. And perhaps you'll ask a question that we don't know the answer to, which we love
Which
because
is likely, but we don't know the answer.
because we enjoy the opportunity to learn, like we said, together. And then we can address the question, find out what the answer is, and talk about it during the next session. So,
Which is the key component of this whole deal is learning in a community or with a group is way easier than solo flying. Because I don't know about you guys, but left alone, I'm outnumbered. So I definitely like flying in groups and communities and different spaces where we can all help each other.
So, jumping right in, you might be wondering, why are we doing this as a free workshop? And the reason we're sharing this is because we care about people feeling empowered and not being left behind as the world goes more digital.
Yeah, and quite frankly, there's so many of our family members and our friends and neighbors and coworkers that have chosen to, I guess, lack of a better way to say it, put their head in the sand and or look the other way. And I know and I understand that that's real because our country's slow to the draw with what's happening digitally around the world. There's many other countries right now that are daily engaged in using digital currency and cryptocurrency to pay rent, to pay electric bills, to pay their car payment, to even banks now are getting involved with a type of digital card, a cryptocurrency card that you use when you acquire services. Our country, a little slow to the game. We got a little intoxicated with our own success, and quite frankly, America's position in the global environment's pretty strong, and our US dollar was super strong for decades as kind of an international business bar that was set, but that's all dissolving and that's all going away. And so, like she mentioned, we first dabbled in this thing probably 4 years ago, and it was a slow moving barge, but it's taken off now and it's happening fast. And so few people that we care about and know and talk to are engaged even in the elementary steps like us with different types of digital wallets, different types of accounts, different types of relationships with exchanges that we thought, geez, we better start reaching out and helping people wake up. Like, wake up, wake up.
So, as I started to say, we're covering why digital sovereignty matters. And when we say digital sovereignty, we're really talking about choice.
That's right.
And that's you having a say in how you show up in digital spaces. And
Well,
so
because if you don't, it's here and it's gonna, railroad you might be a strong word, or drown you might be a strong word, but you're gonna lose your choices to be ahead of the curve and participate with it. You're gonna be dictated to how to participate with it, and that's never fun, as we know. And change is hard enough as it is in any element in life, but when you're gonna talk about change with money, that's a big deal. Like now we're engaged in, like, wait a minute, I'm going to start having rules and regulations of what I can and can't do. No, no.
I know that that money is important to you. So why don't you share with us
Well, where did blockchain come from, you think?
how, if you've ever been frustrated by
Yeah, well, that's the
fees, delays, or lack of access when it comes to money identity?
that's how blockchain was created, quite
Okay.
frankly. And as we said, a part of blockchain is cryptocurrency, but the whole idea was spawned from being sick and tired of being sick and tired, or being aggravated or frustrated or pulling your hair out at all the chicanery and the criminal ways of insurance and banks and governments with money. And it reached a boiling point, as you recall, back in 2007, 8, and 9, where the large institutions got bailed out with our tax dollars, and none of us got any relief or at all for their egregious and their zany behavior. And so a group of people,
He's talking about Satoru Nakamura.
Satoshi,
Satoshi Nakamura. I'm
uh,
glad
uh,
you remember.
it's a group of people
That
that
actually created
they created a
blockchain.
way that we could push the middleman or the institutions
Yeah,
away, and
yeah.
we could get more into peer to peer and more connected with each other and have a transparent item, which I think is essentially what we want to tell you in the first place is blockchain is just a ledger. That's all it is.
So, as we've talked with others about this, we've been able to see how confusing and overwhelming this space can feel. And we didn't want learning to require hype, pressure, or risk taking. But like he keeps talking about, we have also noticed a lot of people cross our path that are like we used to be, completely oblivious to what's clearly happening with the US and global economy. And so we just wanted to kind of separate it. You've talked a little bit about the Genius Act and about the U.S. State of mind.
Well, that's what got our country in the game was the Genius Act. That's a great point. Back in January, we were so slow to the draw and so lacking that our House of Representatives and our Senate, passed a bill that now is going to allow our greatest minds with computer programmers and electrical engineers and free thinking people allow us to make it a priority to engage in the technology of blockchain, one of which is critical, and that's cryptocurrency or digital currency. So that's right. That's a big part of what's changing. And, let's face it, I don't know how you see it, but I see it as fiat currency is burning this way with inflation and burning this way with taxes that keep increasing. And it's like, and there's no dissolving right before my very eyes. So if I can find a way to participate and alleviate myself of the middleman, I'm all for it.
So, unlike traditional ledgers kept by banks or companies, blockchains are shared and synchronized across the network. And when something is added, it can't be changed, making it secure and trustworthy, which
That's
is
right.
also known as being immutable. And each block contains data, a timestamp, and a link to the previous block, otherwise known as a chain. So that's where the
Chain.
blockchain name comes about. And our at heart is simply to create a calm human doorway into understanding so that you can make your own choices with clarity, confidence, and care.
Well, let's face it, I see it a little differently in that I think it's like it's a wake up or get rolled over. But that's me. Or like a tsunami's coming our way, and we're either going to jump on this life preserver together or we're going to drown. And I know it's not that intense, but it kind of is, quite frankly. So the beautiful thing about blockchain, as just stated, is that it's this way now that you and I, or myself and a company, can do business together, and we don't need any. It's peer to peer. It's We don't need anyone to govern it
Prove
because
it.
it's transparent and it's immutable, and it happens. So it's leveled the playing field essentially. Think of it in that regards. Is to get on the playing field up until blockchain, you either had to have a license or you were part of an institution or you had some type of credential or some type of qualification that allowed you to then conduct yourselves dictating to all the others what to do with their money or how to do it. In fact, Salena brought up a funny thing to me the other day, got me thinking, oh my gosh, she's so right. She explained to me that when I go to a bank and I make a deposit and I'm giving them my money from my paycheck, well, actually it's auto deposit, but same difference. And I'm basically loaning them my money so that they can use it. And then they
Tell
dictate,
you.
they dictate to me when I have access to it and how much of it I can get and when I can use it, where I can send it, what hours they're open, So it really got me thinking, like, oh my God, I never thought of that. Like, oh, that's crazy. But it's true. And so now with blockchain, you have this way, the transparency is the key. It levels the playing field, and a byproduct of the transparency is trust and is immutability, which is it can't be changed. And that's powerful. And that's why it's so fun to be on this wave of this new age way that we're going to participate with life.
Right. So just to back up a little bit, we started to talk about Satoshi Nakamoto a little bit. Blockchain was created as a response to what happened in 2008,
Yeah, enough's
2009.
enough. Right.
And they all of the people that were being you know, making all these stupid moves and cheating everybody were bailed out, not the people that were going to lose their homes. And so Satoshi Nakamoto, that was a group of people who came together and said, we're not doing this anymore. We have to find a different way. And so blockchain is the solution to these central groups of control people that are always trying to push us down. It's a way for us to be on the same level playing field and for us to come together as communities and win. So Anyway, that's our 20 minutes basically. I know we're kind of going all over the place, but we would love to hear from you.
Well, hold on before we go there,
Okay.
because we want to make sure that we share what our challenge was or what our concern was going in and why we even got in it in the first place. So, how about you?
Um,
What
okay.
made you want
Yeah.
to buy or get engaged with digital currency or blockchain 4 years ago?
It wasn't for me, it wasn't about the desire like you
Okay.
to be about blockchain, to be about crypto. For me, because I come from a technology background, I was more interested in, oh, what's Bitcoin? You
Mhm.
know, and so I actually went down a kind of a rabbit hole and started learning about Bitcoin certification. So that's what was curious for me. How about you?
Well, for me, I'm still uncomfortable with it. I don't even like if I could run the other way if I could, but I'm uncomfortable anytime. Uh, Anyone asks me for my social security number, my driver's license, where I live, where I work, what my email is, what my phone number is, like that's not fun for me. I don't like that. I'm a recluse kind of in general. And in the beginning part of the digital revolution that started ramping up and accelerating back in the 2000 teens, if you look at all my stuff, it's all under her emails and her phone numbers
Yeah.
because I don't like doing that, right? Well, this new age system that's here, let's call it blockchain and or cryptocurrency, is forcing me to get over the apprehension I have of giving people that stuff. However, the benefit I get from it is it's transparent. So it's everyone's got it and no one's can steal it and that it's out there and it's immutable and it's part of what allows me the creativeness of being engaged in this new technology. I didn't like it. I still don't like it. I'm not a fan of it, but I love the security of it. And it took me a while to get over that hump, and I'm glad I did. And, we're just really wanting to strike your curiosity of recognizing that it's going to be super important uh, that you get engaged in getting over whatever it is that's holding you back right now. Like, there's no reason anyone who's an adult right now, say March of 2026, should have multiple wallets. They should have some cold storage, some hot storage, some digital
You're
currencies.
jumping
I
ahead.
know, but
This is all day three stuff.
I know, but I'm just trying to say that,
Okay.
that's what we all want to do
Okay,
together.
let's answer Nina's
Okay.
questions. Her question is, how do we start with blockchain understanding? Do we learn about Bitcoin first or investing or about understanding blockchain infrastructure? And that's a great question, Nina.
I think infrastructure is where it's at, and that you don't want to learn about Bitcoin right now. I know I get excited about digital currency, but what you want to learn about is the infrastructure and about blockchain.
So the reason why he's talking about infrastructure, I think, I might be jumping to conclusions, is because when you start to study cryptocurrency, you'll notice that it goes up and down all the time. It's hard to focus on it and thinking that it's a stable coin because its value is going up and down all the time, whereas the actual infrastructure remains the same. And so when you invest in infrastructure, which is just one way that you can invest in blockchain, that's a way that remains pretty stable. Whereas if you're investing in actual cryptocurrency, then it's unstable and volatile. And so, but your question in terms of what you want to focus on first, there's so much, which is why we're bringing it up in the first place.
And
And
day
so,
three, I think we'll be able to answer that question more effectively in a group setting. But your specific question essentially is if you
and
get
to focus
lost
on.
with cryptocurrency and lost with Bitcoin, you're going to frustrate yourself. And that's not conducive to wanting to learn and embrace it. So I would say learn about what blockchain is and why it's effective and what it means. Because one small part of that is digital currency. There's many things blockchain does. Think of it kind of as the rails. Blockchain is the railroad. And there's a lot of different cars that are on the train using the rails. And one of those is cryptocurrency. Or let's even use it like a freeway. Freeway is blockchain.
All the Teslas.
And let's say all the Teslas are cryptocurrency. And then all the other vehicles, the hybrids and the electrics and the combustible engines, are a bunch of other currencies. And
They're
let's
not currencies, they're different values.
but let's say a truck is about information about right, and then about the
So
trailer and the.
you can go to 101 blockchain, Nina. That's one place that you can go. But I mean, if you were to just Google blockchain, you could see that it's a huge subject. And so
Right.
it's so deep and there's so much happening with it right now that you don't know what's going to come up. So the important thing is to think about what's most important to you. Yes,
Well,
101
and
blockchain.
also the blockchain is those key components, right? It's absolutely transparent. It's absolutely immutable. It's
So
absolutely,
he's telling you to trust
yeah.
it. Whatever you learn about it, he's
Well,
wanting you
no,
to trust
learn about those things about it. No,
security. Yeah.
I'm not asking you to trust. I'm
Yeah,
saying
but
learn about that
okay, good
because then
point.
you can
Trust it.
understand what blockchain is and why digital currency works on the blockchain.
Right. Are there any other questions? Do you have any questions, Veronica? Are you still here? It's nice to see you too. And we are going to go deeper into all of this tomorrow. You know, I started to say that Satoshi Nakamura's whole intention was to create something other than a system that was um, not trustworthy. And so that's why it's been created in the first place. And it's, like Steve said earlier, being used all around the world, but in the United States, it's taking us a while to catch on. And so we're really wanting, yes, blockchain is actually just a digital ledger. And so
That's right.
it's, if you could imagine, like if you're in a store and everybody has a notebook to figure out what everyone's time is for that week so that the person can pay them, it's just a place where everybody puts notes.
Well, I think here's a good one. Think of it like this. Like for any of us who've worked with employers, let's say 20 people or more, 10 people or more, think of if the employer had to use the blockchain and had to have a digital ledger on what the owner made and how many hours the owner participated for the week, what the management made and how many hours they participated for the week, what the rank and file made and how many hours they participated for the week, and what the custodial staff made and how much they participated with for the week. And everyone could see it and everyone had an idea of what was going on. That would have been amazing because so much wasn't disclosed to us for all those years we were working for those places where that information was protected. Well, now it's wide open, it's transparent, everyone can see it. So you all have an understanding of what's going on. That's just like a small example of why a transparent ledger is beneficial and helpful for everyone so that there's not people that shade stuff, or there's not people that smoke and mirror stuff, or there's not people that hold it back and then tell you a narrative about what they want you to think that's going on. It changes that dynamic. And that's what's so great about blockchain, Nina. So I would focus on blockchain and let the rest of it take its course about digital currency and all the other ways blockchain's used. But get your main focus on blockchain, what it is, why it is, how it is.
And then when you're doing that, you might actually find things that are really interesting to you and that you want to know about. Um, but the literal translation is actually a block of data. So it's a block, and the entire network looks at this block of data and confirms that it's accurate and that it's valid. And the block doesn't actually get completely formed until everyone's in agreement. And what's in that block of data is a timestamp and a link to the previous block. And so that link is called a chain, and that's why it's called blockchain. And the way that Bitcoin is formed is all on a single Bitcoin blockchain that goes back all the way to the date when it was first created. And so it's very, very difficult to change it. It's not impossible, but it would be incredibly difficult to change it and incredibly expensive, which is why it makes it trustworthy. I hope
or
that's helpful.
secure,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. So
And remember, the whole reason it was derived in the first place was to stop the
shenanigans.
crap, right? The
Yeah.
chicanery, all the goobly gop that was taking place, whether it be an employer, a government, a company, a bank, an insurance, like there was so many things that were happening that were not uh, good fundamentally and sound. That this is an answer to that. That's why blockchain was created.
So we're gonna drop a slide, today's slide, into our Aloha Concepts marketing page. And if any additional questions come up from anybody, feel free, especially as you're looking at this information, Nina, feel free to drop your questions there so that we can talk about them some more tomorrow. We really want this to be an interactive way for everybody to benefit from it. And we're really glad you're here.
Yeah. And it can be daunting. Like there's so much happening so fast, and those were great questions. That it was easy to see we were just as lost, and we still are. Like that's the key component. Like,
Yeah, there's so
you
much to
know,
know. It's hard to know it all. So, if you would like to continue the journey with us tomorrow, we'll explore this technology and actually how it shows up in everyday life in a way that feels open-minded, simple, and straightforward. And that'll be the what of
yeah. So
blockchain.
think of it. Today was like the bang, and then tomorrow and Wednesday, the dust will be settling, and we'll be able to get more specific with certain to dos and not to dos and ways to help you navigate this new age of living.
So, thanks so much for showing up for us today and for yourself. And we look forward to connecting with you tomorrow. Aloha.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Appreciate it.
Mahalo.
Bye now.
Bye.